Welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the way. I have people standing by right now to help you pre-qualify for a mortgage or to answer any of your real estate questions. All you have to do is call 407-205-0400. Plenty of information is also on the website, which is youhavepower.com. Before we get started, though, it's time for my opening statement. We are experiencing a massive interest rate reduction and really a refinance boom going on in Central Florida and nationally as I talk to you today. Rates have gone. Imagine this. Rates have gone from 4.9% on average last Thanksgiving to last week, 3.6% just last week. So this means really two things for you. Number one, it means if you're renting, you got to consider buying. Look, the rental market is completely and totally out of control for those of us looking to actually put shelter over our head. It's great if you're a landlord because rental rates are very, very high. But if you're just looking for a place for your family to live, it's always cheaper to pay a mortgage on the exact same house than it's going to be to pay rent on that same house. But it also means something else. It means it might be time to look at a refinance as well. Even if you've refied over the last year or two, maybe it's time to look at refinancing again. Values have absolutely skyrocketed. You know, we all know about the epic collapse we had in 2009, 10, 11, 12, and many of us have been afraid to really figure out what our house is worth because we're like, I just don't want to see that. I know I'm underwater. The good thing is, if you bought your house even in 2006, it's likely you're probably not underwater anymore, or at least it's getting close. So don't be afraid to go and look and see what your house is actually worth because we might be able to do a refinance. Many houses right now are out there at rates 5, 6%. And if your credit is halfway decent, it's very likely you'll be able to refinance and get that mortgage payment lowered. Estimates have shown that 9.7 million of us live in a house right now that if we refinance today could reduce their rate by at least 0.75 of a percentage point, which on average is going to save you $200 a month. I have Dallas Lehman standing by right now to get you pre-qualified for a refinance right now. Call 407-205-0400. A refinance is fairly simple too. I mean, if you know how to go get your W-2, your tax returns, that sort of thing, you can make it happen. Keep in mind, this is not 2006 where all you have to have is a pulse and a pen. You really do need to show them financial paperwork, right? We want to make sure we're not doing these loans like we were doing in 2006. But it's not nearly as hard as it was in 2010, 11, when essentially it required an act of Congress to get a mortgage back then. It's much, much easier and very likely, unless something really bad is going on now, that you'll be able to qualify for a new home or to qualify for a refinance. Now, one more way to save money every month for you. I don't know how these electric companies, these energy companies out there have convinced us that it's just natural to pay $400, $500 a month for our electricity bill every month. I don't know. We just pay it like we have to pay it. It's like we pay it almost like we have to take care of our kids. How have they convinced us that $500 a month for an electric bill is normal? I don't know. The good thing is you can save money just like I did by using solar energy. I saved $500 a month on my electric bill by installing solar panels on my home through IQ Power Solar. I want you to reach out to them today. You can call 407-205-0400. I had Stephen Bader from IQ Power Solar on the show last week, and here's some highlights of that interview. If you're interested in solar, again, 407-205-0400. Reach out to them today. Here's Stephen Bader. And now it's time for Real Questions. Every Saturday right here on You Have Real Estate, we ask real estate questions to the real trendsetters in the Central Florida real estate community. Today, I have good friends and repeat guest on the show. I have Lee Goldberg. I have Gary Cole, the GCI guys. Yeah. Gentlemen, how are you? Welcome back, Gary.
Always
First of all,
great.
Thank you for guest hosting my radio show the other day. It was awesome. I was on an island in Maine, lobster roll in one hand, nice crisp glass of white wine in the other, but I was watching. You did great.
Well, people were calling me and saying, I didn't know you were an attorney. I said, I'm not, but I put 3 kids through law school, so that qualifies me for something.
You deserve it, absolutely. So, Gary, did you ever think that we would still be sitting here in 2019 with mortgage rates as low as they are?
When I hear you say that, under 4%, I remember my first house in 1985, the interest rates were 18%.
Oh, yeah.
You tell somebody that now, they'll probably drop over and have a heart attack.
It was the
it's
Jimmy
amazing.
Jimmy Carter days. People don't understand. People were paying 20% and begging for it. It's unbelievable. So whether it's 5 or 3, this is still historically unbelievable. But for 5 years, I've been telling people they're going to go up soon. They're going to go up soon. What do you think? What do you see with interest rates?
It's hard to say, but I never thought they would go back down below 4%. And if someone's planning to live in Orlando long term, and you have the good credit score, like you said, it makes no sense not to buy right now. Absolutely.
3 years. If you're going to be here minimal 3 years, you have to buy. There's no reason not to.
I totally agree. And once we do buy Lee Goldberg, at some point we probably want to sell the home as well. And I think this is sometimes a debate between agent and home seller, right? It's what do we list our property for? How do you really come up with that number of what we want to list the price?
Well, Gary and I together, we look at the research. The numbers don't lie. We tell everyone we are an interpreter of the market as to what's going on. We can't say this is the magic number. Now, with that said, 10 years for myself doing this, 20 for Gary, and doing so many transactions and over $40 million a year in sales, we have an idea of where we need to be. And a lot of that comes down to, okay, number one, what are the comps on the home? You can't go by just price per square foot. There's the Shaquille O'Neal rule that
I came up with, by the way.
That Gary did come up with. And the Shaquille O'Neal rule is the following. He is a 7-footer, and he's $22 million a year. Greg Kite, our good friend, Greg Kite, we love him.
Boston Celtics, Orlando,
and the Magic.
And the Magic. Yeah. Greg Kite, also a 7-footer.
Yeah.
Not $22 million a year.
That's a good point.
And so just because two things are created the same size and equal does not mean that it's the same price. And so a lot of that comes down to then the GBS, which is something that Gary actually coined the name, although I came up with it. That's the Goldberg scale. Where on the scale of 1 to 10 can we put the home? Is the home just incredible and phenomenal? Or are we giving it a 10? So based on where we are, 1 to 10, based on what's happening in the community and the area, and then we always try to go up a little bit above to try and get the price up. But we do a really good job of pricing our properties, and we do a really good job of sometimes getting above that asking price.
So let me ask you this then, because sometimes I'll see prices at $401, or I might see the price at $399. Why would we decide to go $399 versus say $405? Does it really
if
make
you
a
ever
difference?
see a 7 or an 8, a lot of that is a cultural thing. So depending on who the seller or the agent is, for good luck purposes, they like to use certain numbers. But when it comes to the 999 or the 400, Gary and I actually go back and forth on this all the time.
Yeah. The reason you don't want to, everyone thinks $399.9 looks a lot less than $400,000. Here's the problem with that. Let's say that you're a buyer and you say, I want to look for something anywhere from $400 to $450, for example. Well, that's going to eliminate someone looking up on the MLS if it's $399.9. It'll go. You won't get over $400,000. So if you want to buy a house that say, if someone wants to list it for $399.9, we say no, you got to put it at least $400,000. This way, if someone's looking $350 to $400 or $400 to $450, they're hitting that entire scale of possible buyers.
And the pitfall to this is that if you go with the lower number, then you're going to be finding people who that is the ceiling for them, right? They're going to be, well, I could go up to $400, but I really need to be $375. So now you're going to be getting those lower offers as well. So if an agent is good or a buyer is savvy, which most are these days, they're going to be looking above that number.
So, and Gary, we were talking about this before the show a little bit. So on the buyer side, from the buyer perspective, we go in, we look at a house, it's listed $400,000. I'm going to come with the attitude, I'm never paying list price. I'm going to get a good deal here. Is that a good strategy as a buyer?
That's where you have to have an agent that knows what they're doing. We talked about this the other day. Some agents take you into a house and they go, okay, that's a refrigerator, that's the living room, that's the bedroom. Hey, way to be a master of the obvious. You got to have a plan, know what the pricing is, know what it's worth, so you can make an intelligent offer, especially if a house has been on the market a week. You can't come in $25,000 below. The seller's not even going to look at that. So you have to have a plan. You have to know what it is. And if it is going to be if you're going to offer $25,000 below, you call the agent agent and you go, listen, we saw your pricing, but I mean, you have no upgrades in there. The roof's 20 years old. The AC is about to be shot. Come with an intelligent offer. This isn't a flea market. We're not walking in and buying an Elvis rug and it's $100 and you're offering $50, right?
Right.
No, with a house, you got to have at least an intelligent offer and plan. Don't just throw numbers out what you think it's worth.
I mean, we tell our buyers this, and especially our buyers who are, say, sub 300, where there's less opportunity in certain areas out there. And so you have to be somewhat aggressive in some situations. Listen, we're all about trying to get everything for less. That's what we do. That's what we're known for. But for us, it's also getting the home. So I ask our clients, I say, well, do you want this home? Do you really like this home? Let's not nickel and dime, because $5,000 or $10,000 and your mortgage is going to be bupkis. It's going to be a bunch of shekels at the end of the month. So you got to ask yourself, do you want it? Now, the reason why you want someone like us for negotiating price, but is also when things go bad. So when there's an inspection, or more importantly, an appraisal issue, that's where the negotiating really happens at the same time. Any realtor can go show homes. Any realtor can submit an offer, but you just got to know how to do it. You got to say, okay, Mr. Seller, you're priced at X, and actually, that's a good price. And then we say to our client, listen, they're priced well. Do you want this home? It's on the market 2 days. We must jump on this and be aggressive.
So the negotiation, though, does not end there when we first put a contract in, because as the buyer, we're obviously going to get an inspection, and I presume most people are getting a mortgage. So when you get a mortgage, there's an appraisal as well. What do we do as the buyer when the inspection comes back saying, oh, you need a new roof, or oh, the AC is bad? I mean, does the negotiation continue?
Of course, and that's why you want the GCI guys in your corner, and that's the truth of it, because it takes experience. It takes doing this for so many years, just like when you go into a court of law versus someone right out of law school. You have the experience, you know what you're doing, and you know how to fix the problems. Gary's nickname is Mr. Wolf.
I did not know this.
He is the Wolf.
And must elaborate.
That is obviously an ode to Quentin Tarantino and Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
You know, the guy that comes in and cleans up the brains on bread. That's Mr. Wolf. He cleans up the mess, and that is what Gary does.
Congratulations.
When there's an inspection and appraisal issue, we look at it, first of all, from both sides. We put ourselves in the situation of the buyer and the seller. We put ourselves in the situation as the other side, as the realtor. And then we try to use logic, because there's a lot of realtors out there that just want to try and kill deals. You know, we're problem solvers. We're here to fix it. We're here to get it done where it's fair for everyone. Obviously, we are ethical and, to our client, most importantly, but we went through all these steps. We looked for the home. We put the contract. We paid for the appraisal, paid for the inspection. Why would we not try to work together to get to the closing table?
All right, so then the appraisal comes in. I made an offer of $400,000. I'm getting a mortgage. Appraisal comes in at $380,000. What do we do at that point?
Well, so if we're the seller and it comes in $20,000 below, this is a lot of times now why I advise clients to take either a cash offer or an offer with a high down payment. If someone's doing an FHA loan and the appraisal comes in $20,000 below, they're not coming up with any more money out of pocket. We know that. So then you're in a situation where either the price gets dropped or we have to put it back on the market. We just had a deal where a condo for $180,000. We had the buyer, first-time home buyer, so I had no more money, and I knew the appraisal was going to come in low. So I said, let's put the offer in anyway and see what happens. The lady that owned it has to move. Older lady's got to be out. Appraisal came in at $150,000 on a price. On the contract, it was listed for $180,000. We put an offer in at $170,000. Came in at $150,000.
Oh.
Well, I said, listen, we got to pay $150,000, and they had no other option, so they dropped the price to $150,000. But it depends. If it's a hot property, then they might get offers above appraised value, which many times they do.
And people will pay that, depending on where it is and how much it is.
And let's talk about listing appointments. So I'm looking to sell my home, and one of you walk in my door, Lee Goldberg, Gary Cole, GCI guys. You walk in my door, and I just have in my head that my house is worth $500,000. Your experience and your review of comps says it's probably worth $400,000. Mm-hmm. How does that conversation go then with your potential client?
Well, that's a fun conversation, and that's why we love doing this job, because it's, when I walk into a listing appointment, I tell people straight up, I say, listen, we're very good at what we do. We know what we're doing. I'm here to listen. I'm here to answer any questions you have. And I do want to know what you think the value of your home is. And then the mistake that most realtors make is they walk in with comps and say, your home is worth this before they ever see the home. I need to see it. I need to touch it. I need to feel it. I need to put it on the GBS. I need to see where is it on the GBS. Mm-hmm. Then we'll go back and then we'll see what it's worth. But when I have an idea or when we know what that number is, and I'll say, listen, how did you come up with that number? And let's talk it out. And I'm going to say, well, let's talk reality now. And let's talk about what's going on. And it's, we are there to be an interpreter as to what's going on. And if you want to sell your home, if we price it correct, I know we'll get you the most amount of money, and I know that we'll save you money, and I know that we're going to do more marketing than anybody else in most cases. Therefore, you should be listening to me. Otherwise, don't be selling your home. Because
Right.
if you're going to put it on the market for $500 when we know it's worth $425, you're wasting everybody's time, and then you're going to fire your realtor, and you're going to say they didn't do their job. And the end of the story is you didn't price it correctly. And earlier in my career, we definitely took listings that we should not have taken, where now we just won't. And it's good. It's good to have that problem, actually.
Is there a time on the market facet here, too, where if you list it too high, when someone goes to MLS and they're looking for homes, it's going to show you've been on the market for 200 days, 250 days. Does that make a difference?
Well, yes and no. Some people think that they could come in and lowball you, but I combat it as very simply, well, our clients, our customer is building new construction, and they've got plenty of time. They are in no rush whatsoever. We priced it high. We're going to test the market and see what happens. But if you like this home, give us an offer that you feel is respectable, and let's play some ball.
Gotcha. Let's say we are going to sell the home now, and,
Yep.
and I'm willing to do a few upgrades to really increase the value of my home. Are there certain things that you think I should do as a seller that aren't super expensive but that are going to increase the value of my home?
I tell most people put no money whatsoever into your home if you're going to sell it, because people are going to want to do what they want to do. Now, if there's some small, minor things like, a little hole in a door or on a wall, obviously, yeah, we want that stuff fixed. The minimal stuff. Carpets should be cleaned. If they're not stretched, they should be stretched. Very inexpensive things to do. Mulch, little tiny things like that. But massive things, putting in granite or redoing a bathroom or this or that, do none of that. Put no money into it, because odds are you've got some good equity. We're going to price it right, and the offer is going to reflect that.
Beautiful. One more question. How is the market now? Seller's market, buyer's market. What are we looking at? I can't figure this out.
It's moved more towards a buyer's market. Now, a few months ago, before school started, then we were getting a lot of homes that had multiple offers, above list price.
Belle Isle,
I'm not seeing that as many right now, are you?
No, I'm seeing it as a buyer's market. We're very steady right now with listings and with buyers. I'm seeing more buyers come out. We're in a very healthy place. I've been doing this 10 years. 2012, you alluded earlier, the tough times in real estate. I drove a taxi.
Yeah.
I drove a yellow taxi from Mears. There was no Uber, there was no Lyft. I had to make extra money.
Right.
That's what I did. And so the road has not been easy for us, but we stuck with it. And I can say that for the time that we've been doing this has been the most stable and the most rewarding, but at the same time, where the rates are and people who are renting and being able to get them to be that first-time home buyer and walk them through that entire process, it actually makes what we do so rewarding. So it's something that we didn't have early on, but now we have, and that's what makes it worth it.
Do you think we've been somewhat more responsible as mortgage brokers, as appraisers, as realtors since we saw what happened back in the day?
Well, that was a disaster back in the day. I remember doing a condo conversion. Remember these, where they were selling condos that were legitimately worth maybe $100,000 for $300,000, and these developers were offering
Condo king right here, by the way.
They were offering 10% commissions,
Right.
and the lenders giving 110% loans. So these people were buying in. I would see people come in, and they would buy 5 and 6 condos for $300,000.
They were busboys, by the way.
$300,000 a piece, and they were getting handed kickbacks by the realtors of, say, half the commission. So they're walking out of this thing, putting no money in, getting $50,000, $60,000 in their pocket. Now they're finding out their mortgage is $3,000 a month. The renter's paying $1,500.
Unbelievable.
So how many times are they going to make that mortgage payment? After maybe they've already spent that $60,000 on a new car.
Done.
So they all gave them back to the bank, and that's where this whole thing went down the
We
tubes.
know it was fraudulent, what was happening then. It was just ridiculous. It was fraudulent. I think everyone now never wants to go back to that place. I know I don't want to go back to driving a taxi.
No.
And listen, I got into this business in 2009 at the worst possible time. People saying, "Are you crazy?" I said, "I see the future."
Right.
Gary and I see the future as to where we're going, and that's why we did it. Yeah.
Let's tour some properties. You guys ready?
Let's
Absolutely.
do it.
If you have any questions for Lee Goldberg or Gary Cole, give us a call. 407-205-0400. Lee Goldberg, you're going to take us over to Bahama Swallow.
So this is in Summer Lake. This is in Horizon West in Winter Garden, off of 429, right behind the Magic Kingdom. This is where I live. I live in this exact community, and this home is probably one of the best values in the entire area, listed at $319,900 right now. The home is awesome. The community is phenomenal. Fireworks, views. This is an area, if you're not familiar with, you need to get familiar with. Now, I've been there for 5 years. I've sold just in this community alone over 65 homes over the years. But this whole area is just phenomenal. And there's a lot of new construction that's still happening. But the value, the best value is in the resales right now. Because one, it's taken forever to build. But you can't find a house in this area really for under $325 for a single family home. This one in particular is awesome, fenced in. As you can see, it's upgraded. All the bedrooms are upstairs. Some people want a bedroom downstairs. That's just really been the only issue there. But for a guy like me, a single guy, this would be a perfect home for anyone, even with kids is good too. Unless you need a bedroom downstairs, this is a perfect home in an incredible area, in a great community, and more importantly, at a great price. With awesome sellers who also happen to be a Cane fan like myself.
Is that right?
So,
wow.
Obviously, we got the Gators
Big
and
game
Canes
today.
tonight at
That's
the Citrus
right.
Bowl. So
I don't know this area as well as I should. Help me understand exactly where this is, because you've told me before great value in this area.
Yeah. So this is one of the fastest growing parts of Florida in the entire country. It is. So if you go 408 West, okay, to 429, you got to hop on the turnpike for one exit. Go to 429. Winter Garden Village, one exit below. It's called the Horizon West area. And we're basically on the northwest corner of Disney property and Magic Kingdom.
Right.
But no tourists. It's all Disney executives, employees, a lot of teachers, nurses. It's a great area with phenomenal schools right off 429. Toll roads, but no I-4. So I'll take the toll roads all day.
Absolutely.
But everything's new. There's a great movie theater, brand new high-end movie theater, Sinopolis right there off the exit. Walmart, Publix, all these new restaurants. Abbott's Custard. I don't know if anyone's from upstate New York, Rochester area, but Abbott's Frozen Custard just opened up there. Oh my God, that is phenomenal.
Good.
Yeah, but that's a great area, Horizon West. And if you or anyone at home who's watching, if you want a tour or if you just want to get educated, call us because I'll just give you that education. Everything from townhomes to single family to homes on the lake. You could crush it with homes on the lake. But this one in particular, 319.
And
phenomenal.
your payment at $319, guys, is $1,600 a month or something like that.
And the rent's going to be a lot more.
You're going to pay $2,300 a month to rent this place at least, whereas to get a mortgage on it, maybe $1,600, $1,700.
I think Justin Clark might need to pick this up as an investment
There you
property,
go.
and let's rent this baby out with Revolution Rental Property Management.
407-205-0400. Gary Cole, you're going to take us down to Lattimore Drive. Where's this?
Well, this is in Claremont in the Legends community, and we always say great pricing. This is an absolute steal. Almost 3,600 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, completely upgraded. Excuse me. The problem with Legends right now is, as with many communities, the golf course has closed. Now, they are confident that someone's going to come in and redo it and buy it, but the amenities here are great in the whole community.
It really
and if you can get in at roughly about $100 a square foot for a house like this, I mean, you can't build homes like that right now.
It's off of 27, south of 50, but it's a beautiful entrance. It's a great, great community in Claremont.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of golf courses close up all over Central Florida right now, and I don't know why that is. Of course, we haven't played golf in how long? A couple of years?
It's been at least like 10 years. The last time
Same
we
here.
played golf, I think, was we were doing our radio show at Hunters Creek Golf Course. We played 9 holes, and we said, all right, we're done. We picked up the ball, and I swear, actually, it's funny. I was dusting off the cobwebs off my golf clubs last night just to get the cobwebs off the golf clubs, not to take them out.
Yeah.
And I have a professional golfer that lives with me in the off season for 3 months. She's on the women's tour, and she's like, Lee, you want lessons? You want to go out and play? No, I'm good.
I'm all set.
Yeah, I'm good.
I have 2 little kids. I'm semi-retired for sure from golf right now, no doubt about it. Gary, so Claremont, great location, obviously. Lake County's going bananas, too.
It is.
No doubt about it.
It is absolutely booming out there. And a lot of good pricing all over Lake County really, but in this place, in this kind of community where it's gated to get in, you have to show the guard
gated. It's hard.
The license, and you still have other great amenities, pools, and all kinds of other things. And once this golf, and if someone buys thinking the golf course is going to be reopened, which I really think it will be, I mean, you've got a bargain price right now at this.
407-205-0400. Gary Cole will take you out there today or even tomorrow on Sunday to come see.
Oh, absolutely. We work 7 days a week.
We do.
Well.
We don't take a day off.
Absolutely.
We are a slave to our phone, and we are showing homes every single day, and we're doing it in 2 markets, Las Vegas and Orlando, and soon to be Los Angeles. But we don't stop, and we don't sleep.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Real Estate Roundtable. If you have any questions throughout the week, all you have to do is go to the website, youhavepower.com. Ask me a question right there, and I might just answer them right here next week on You Have Real Estate. Let's go to Philip in Miami. Watches us on Facebook at You Have Real Estate. How much do I need to save monthly to make a refinance worthwhile? What do you think?
I defer to Gary. And I don't want to think now.
I understand.
I would say probably $200 maybe a month would be worth it. It depends what their budget is, what they're spending on. I mean, you got to be careful sometimes when you have to pay some closing costs, and at the end of the day, does it make sense? But yeah, if you're going to save $150, $200, I think that's worth it.
I know who knows that answer.
Who's
that? And that would be Dallas Lehman.
407-205-0400. And quickly, Hank at Kissimmee. I watch you all the time on clickorlando.com.
Nice.
I was thinking about selling my house for sale by owner. What do you think? 30 seconds.
I'll take this one. Don't do it. There's a reason why there are attorneys and there are realtors and good attorneys and good realtors. You could try it, but it's not going to be worth it. And for what you think you'll save, you won't. Call us. Let us tell you what we can save you and how we can make this easier for you. But it's like the brakes on your car. Are you going to do it yourself? I'm not.
No.
There's a reason. There's a reason why there's guys like us. Let us help you.
And I couldn't agree more, guys. Thank you for being here so much.
Loved
Second
it.
visit. We got to do this
Awesome.
again. Lee
This was
Goldberg,
great.
Gary Cole, GCI guys. We'll hope to see you very soon. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
And most importantly, thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions whatsoever about anything we talked about today, the phone number 407-205-0400. If you want to get pre-approved and start the house hunt today, I'll hook you up with these guys, and we'll also get you the pre-approval letter today. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you right back here next week for another edition of You Have Real Estate.